Hello, welcome back, or here I am, let me introduce myself, whatever those fit. But I'm so excited about this 1,000 subscriber hop, and I'm so grateful for all the other YouTube creators that support each other in this journey of sharing our craft. So these two things on the screen that you see right now, the thin cut and the perfectly imperfect pattern stamp, are my prize giveaways. This is one of the layouts that I did for my mom's heritage album, and that's what I'm going to be using kind of as my own scrap lift for today's hop. So I started with this fresh paint paper, and I just did some Cricut cuts. I cut some music notes, and that I created that star border because on the layout that you see in the upper right corner here, there was a zip strip along the left edge of my original layout, and I knew I needed something like that for this layout. So I created that star swoosh in Cricut, and also just cut out some music notes because the photo is when I made everything work out in sync so that I could see Sandy Patty in concert. And we had a 6-week-old in a car for a 6-hour drive, but between our oldest and myself, we managed to do it. So here I have, some bluebird paper, and then the paper from the fresh paint that has kind of the ombre of blue with the dripping paint down on it. So I ripped off the edges to show the white core of those papers, and then I'm just kind of layering them on the left or on the right hand side like I did in the original layout. So while you watch kind of how I work and what I'm doing here, I want to tell you about how you can get entries in to win either that 3D flower layered flowers thin cut, or the perfectly imperfect pattern stamp. And that's the stamp that I'm using right here to kind of give that mixed media feel to this layout. And if you want more entries, what you need to do is go through and on everybody's video that's a part of this hop, make a comment and tell them something great about their video, or that you're new to their channel. You can subscribe and give them a thumbs up while you're there. But I really am so grateful for the YouTube community of crafters, and I want to celebrate all of us. So if you make a comment on their video and send them some love, you will get an entry. So if there's 10 of us in the hop, which there's actually more videos already that I know about, and you comment on everybody's video, you will get 10 entries. And how I plan to do that is I'm going to write your name down, and that's going to get a number. So if you're the first name, number 1, and then everybody that writes a comment on my video will be 1 through 20, and then I'll go to the next video and I'll write 21 through whatever. So your name, you'll end up with multiple numbers, and then I'm going to do a random generated number, and that'll be our winners. And I will ship out of country. You might not get one of these prizes. I'll have an alternative prize just because shipping costs so much. So I will contact you to get an address, and we'll talk about it at that time. So here what I'm doing on the screen, going back to my video, is I'm using the candy red ink, and I schmoosed it on my multi-purpose square here, and then I added some water, and then with the packaging technique, I just use a Ziploc bag. I picked some of that up and I just splattered it across the paper, and then I realized I had picked up or put down too much ink. I don't like to be wasteful. So for the next colors, and I'm just doing the rainbow colors just like are in fresh paint, and just kind of sprinkling them and smushing them down onto that base page. So back to the giveaway. So every comment you leave, you get an entry. I really do appreciate the community at YouTube and the creators, also the viewers, and all the love that they have given. I have only had a few dislikes on my videos and feel very blessed about that. I kind of feel if you don't like something somebody's doing, just kind of move on. Maybe they're having an off day. Maybe you're having an off day. And I've talked to other creators that get those thumbs down, and it's hard sometimes to handle. So I truly celebrate those that got me to this 1,000 subscriber number, with really only a very few handful of thumb down, and those were for videos that I did when I first started this and probably didn't know what I was doing. So yay to you guys. The other thing that is going on that I need to talk about is Makers with Heart, which is another collaboration I'm doing just for Close to My Heart consultants, have their feature the 10th of every month. They start a 7-day video campaign. Each person presents whatever it is we're focusing on, and this month we're focusing on As You Grow. So tomorrow's video is my turn on As You Grow, and I'm doing some 6x8 layouts for a little mini, I don't want to call it a baby book per se, but kind of first few years of life book. So these are the thin cuts, and the film strip came from the In Full Bloom digital collection by Close to My Heart. If you like any of this paper, I do have a link to my online business page in the description under everybody else's video link. But I have fallen in love with these film strips, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and we Zoom on Thursdays, and she was saying, now that I'm seeing this film strip in Full Bloom, I pulled out this old paper pack, or this old stamp set, something like A Star Is Born or something like that, and there was a film strip around one of the images in that stamp set, and she said, I'm just seeing them everywhere now. So I'm with her. I'm absolutely loving these film strips and seeing them in different uses. And I thought that I was going to try to put some music notes on these film strips. And you'll see here that I didn't like it, but I was cutting down, this is like a 16th note bridge that was there, and I made it into an 8th note thinking that it wouldn't be so tall and I could shrink it up, but it's just still too big for that space. So I ended up cutting that off and then adding this other film strip to cover one of the areas when I made my swoosh in the stars that I didn't clean up as nicely because I kind of welded these together to get there. But I actually like that better because it gives you your 3 focal points with that film strip to again kind of draw your eye to that wonderful photo with Sandy Patty holding my child. And I'm a huge Sandy Patty fan. Growing up, I sang her songs in an organization that I traveled across the state of Michigan, and she was amazing, and she still has it to this day. So huge fan. So now I decided to use the stars from the sticker sheet from Fresh Paint to fill in those film strips, but I didn't have enough to do all the others that are under the photo. So I grabbed the last 2 yellow ones off, and I'm putting them on the sides, figuring that at least that'll tie it into the other film strips so that there's stars on all of them. Not sure yet what I'm going to do. Found the title Love because I really do think Sandy Patty is the greatest of all time, so that's why I put the goat sticker there, and then of course use the sticker Love. And it's one of those things that's like, all right, when I don't know what to do on a layout, I just do kind of the next thing that I know what to do. Well, here I knew I needed to journal about traveling the 6 hours in a car with a newborn, and also during the concert I had to get up and leave because our newborn needed a whole wardrobe change. He blew out everything, and thankfully where we're at you travel in golf carts, and so I had brought the full diaper bag, planning ahead, or God moment, however you want to say that. And so I'm changing and trying to clean him up in the back of this golf cart, and some other people that were sitting in the handicap section right in their golf carts were handing me over like wet paper towels and here's a bottle of water, and they were just so helpful in getting the situation under control. So now I'm taking my gold shimmer brush and just adding some glitz to this, because you can't have a Sandy Patty, this is the biggest star I've ever been closest to, page without some glitz. Added my date, have my title, and we're done. So do be sure to go and share some love with everybody else participating in this hop. Thank you so much for helping get me and all the other YouTube creators, with our content out there, and it really helps in so many ways. It gives us an avenue, for some people, an avenue for income. For me, this is kind of a way that I can be pushed to get my scrapbooking done. And if I get a few sales along the way, great, but I really need to get my scrapbooks up to date. Here's where you can find me online. I also have a Facebook group, Crafting with Amanda VIP group, so you can ask to join that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please join our community. Here's more videos you may be interested in, but check out all the links below, comment, and spread some love. Blessings.